Oh hey, it's Wes. And I have a tough decision to make. Quite possibly the toughest decision I've ever made in my life. I have to decide what I'm gonna put in my camera bag. I'm going on a trip soon. Kind of a photography trip, photography workshop. It's to another country and I like to pack light. And of course, I'm the sort of person who overthinks everything. And so, before I even say anything else, I'm gonna ask right now, if you have any comments or suggestions for what you see in this video, let me know down in the comments below while I still have time to change my loadout. The first choice that I have to make is, what am I gonna bring for a bag? I hate normal photography camera bags. They are ridiculous, they look ridiculous, and you might as well be putting a big old "Steal Me" sign on your back. So what do? Well, I have been looking for years for a camera bag that does not yell "Steal Me." Generally, I've been using satchels and stuff that, well, they just look like normal satchels and then I stick a photography insert inside it. Let me look here. This is my latest one. It's just some cheapy thing from Amazon, but we have a photography equipment insert on the middle of it, and I got a carbon fiber plate in the back of it, as you might have seen in the previous video, to make it a little more rigid, because it is not very rigid. And then I finally found brevity. Brevité.
An E with a macron is just pronounced brevity.
So we have two of their camera bags. These are both the jumper, but there is the small jumper and the large jumper. I think this is just called the normal jumper. Neither one of them are very large bags, which appeals to me. I don't want anything over the top. How do we decide which jumper to use? Yeah, they look pretty similar, don't they? Well, the decision's made for me. I checked the airline's website, and the small jumper is actually the maximum carry-on size that you can put as a personal item on the plane. That means the large jumper is out. And I'll have links to a lot of the stuff that you see in this video down in the description below. I have been using both these bags constantly, but off and on as to which one, to try them out and get a feel for it. I most recently had the large one loaded out, so I'm gonna have to take some stuff out of the large one to pack the small one. But how do you decide what to take? Well, I'm going to a kind of a scenic, old school place, mountainous region, so there's gonna be some street photography, some landscape photography. Let's try to work around that. Now for me, it's not so much about the shocking quality of the images that I take. And I found that a lot of smaller, cheaper manual focus lenses these days have sufficient quality that you would never know on Instagram or social media that the picture was taken with a tiny cheap lens and not a $3,000 G Master lens. So let's keep that in mind as we get things loaded. So in these brevity bags, we have this front pouch here, and you can open the front pouch and get into the photography loadout in the bottom middle. And there's also a way of opening the side hatch here and pulling a camera out the side. And there is the top section, zipper pouch, side pocket, just to give you context for what we're working with here. First, we're gonna load our front pocket here. This is the rain cover for the bag. Unfortunately, these bags aren't explicitly waterproof, just water resistant. So if you get caught in a downpour, you're gonna have the rain cover out on that. Now I've got 2 extra batteries. I'm gonna bring 1 camera body. We'll have that in there in a second here. And so if I have 3 batteries, that should be enough for non-intense photography usage. One of these batteries that I'm bringing, and I mean, honestly, I would probably bring more than one like this if I had more than one, is the Nitecore UFZ100. This one can be charged on its own with a USB-C cable. So that's pretty convenient. So I'm gonna throw that in there. Now, sometimes in this big pocket, I'll have a color calibration card or something like that, but I'm not gonna need to calibrate my color. So let's open this top section. I'm going to put in a couple of N95 masks. These ones fold down real nice. I'm gonna stuff those in there. Traveling on an airplane, I don't wanna be breathing everyone else's air on my way there, because who wants to get sick on the way to a trip and then be sick the whole week? I sure don't. So I'm gonna take whatever precautions I can to not do that. Also in the front here, gonna take our memory card pack. You never have enough of those, and you never have enough backups. Now I'm going to finish loading up this inside pocket that's a part of the top pouch with my power devices. So we have a USB-C battery pack. This can recharge your phone real fast, has 18-watt power delivery. And we have a USB-C to C cable. We have a USB Lightning to C cable. Another Lightning to C cable. And our MacBook MagSafe cable. all stuffed in the front there. Tic Tacs. Maybe I'll put these in the front pouch just to keep things from getting too thick. So the first AC charger I have is this UGREEN GAN charger that can do 45 watts in total, going in the bag. Then we have another UGREEN charger. This is another GAN charger that can do 65 watts total. So I can power my MacBook on that pretty easily. Generally, even an M1 Max MacBook will never take more than about 30-35 watts. You only need the massive power brick if you're looking to fast charge it. UGREEN did not send me these chargers. I've just tried to stop buying Anker products after their privacy debacle. And also on the top here is my ISDT NP2 Air battery charger, my favorite charger for Sony batteries. And we have an AirTag. I'm gonna put that in an undisclosed location here. There we go. Here we are into the camera section of the bag. This bag isn't quite as rigid as I'd like, but that's one of the prices you pay for getting a bag that doesn't scream steal me. Need a camera body. Gonna be taking an A7 IV.
My options are either an A9 or A7 IV, but the A7 IV weighs less, costs less, and has significantly better image quality, so it seems like a no-brainer to me.
This is the toughest question I have right now. Do I bring this ridiculous 16 to 35 G Master? Great lens, very heavy, very expensive. I cannot decide. One lens I do want to bring is this, the TTartisan 50mm f2. It is a teeny tiny lens, can be used for portraits, can be used for street photography. It's manual focus, but it is sharp enough to get the job done. And then when you focus it in all the way here, it gets even smaller. So this is going in the bag. For any possible portrait work, I don't want to bring the 85 G Master. It's a huge lens, I never bring it on vacations. It's heavy, it's expensive. Instead, I'm bringing the Viltrox 85 1.8. It is a much smaller, lighter lens, and if somebody steals it or it gets broken, no big deal. It was not even close to as expensive as the G Master. Plunk right in there. And then for now, until I can think of a better option here, I am gonna put the 16 to 35 in the bag. And then the camera body goes in here, which is accessible by the quick access hatch on the side. Perfect. But I would really like to get a smaller, possibly manual focus, wide angle lens, ultra wide lens for landscape photos. Let me know down in the comments below if you have a suggestion for that. I have just enough time to possibly get something cheap in. Because again, it's not just about size and weight, it's also about getting something that's not crazy expensive, because I don't want to worry about all the stuff on my back. All right, let's rotate to the side here. We've got our tripod. We want something lightweight and compact. This is the Ulanzi Koman travel tripod. It is somewhat similar to the Peak Design tripod, except that it costs a lot less and it's actually a little bit lighter. So, fire that in the side here. And then finally, in the back panel, gonna bring a laptop. Thankfully, the MacBook Pro, the new one, has a built-in card reader, built-in everything, so I don't need to haul a lot of dongles along with me. Now, if you're wondering about the Brevity jumper bags, the new 16-inch MacBook Pro fits just perfectly in the smaller bag, and then it fits in the larger one with some room to spare. So we'll zip that up.
And last but not least, noise-canceling headphones for the flight. These are the Bose QC 35s. Unfortunately, they're not the Mark IIs. The big difference, honestly, for me is just that the Mark II has USB-C charging. So this one means I've got to bring a whole other cable, USB micro, in the bag.
And there we have the travel setup. Again, I really want to hear from you guys what else I should bring. I don't want to bring any flashes. I've considered popping an LED light source in there maybe for something. But again, I want to travel as light as possible. And this is already getting kind of heavy. And a lot of that weight's coming from that G Master lens. I'd like to get it out of there. Now, I'm going to have a full review of these bags specifically, so again, subscribe for that. But today, we're just talking about packing for travel photography. I'm not bringing any massive long lenses. I don't do wildlife photography. I don't need to be shooting up anybody's nose hairs to see exactly what's going on there. So don't even suggest me bring a 200 to 600 or a 600 2.8 or something like that. That's not happening. So until next time, I'll be seeing you from another country soon. And I'll go take some photos.